This is Bangkok, and for the next 3 weeks we're going to show you how not to get across Japan. So let's get there. So we've made it to Japan, and I can already see some culture differences because this is a Japanese potato peeler and this is a Japanese, what is it?
That's a spoon.
Wild! But our journey starts 250 kilometers south of here in line?
Kagoshima.
So all we need to do is get a bike and get there. Three days that took. We got our stuff, so just let's get going.
Whoa. Chris, what do you reckon's going to be happening in the next few weeks?
I'm glad you asked, Mike. In the next few weeks, we're going to be experiencing
some amazing sights and some terrifying. Enjoy some highs, some lows, make some of the best montages ever seen on YouTube. We'll meet some super cool people.
You guys are fucking crazy.
And eat a ton of Family Mart fried chicken. Oh, and one of us will get super wet and the other super burnt.
And then I guess we just end up drinking a can of strong in Osaka.
Well, that sounds great.
I hope so. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so we have our bikes, we have our road, we're ready to go. The only issue is, I left my bloody shoes in Bangkok, didn't I? We can do this, Mike, come on.
With that said, our heroic adventurers started their quest to make the world's best YouTube... With that said, our average adventurers started their quest to make the world... Oh my god. And with that said, our stupid adventurers start... Okay, screw this, just roll the bloody logo. Konnichiwa, everyone, and welcome back to another episode from a fat man who used 173 media clips in the intro of a 17-minute video. Find me a more overweight ginger YouTuber that works this hard. Coming at you from the land of the heated toilet seat, where better place to start than at an active volcano. As you've seen, we flew into Japan and headed 250 kilometers south in the bus before, hang on guys, what have I pressed? Okay, at no point did we drive a school bus full of kids across the sea to North Korea. That's next week. Today's plan was simply to get over this volcano, so let's get going. Me and Mike have been wanting to go to Japan for over 4 years. However, we only really started planning what we were going to do on the flight over, which probably explains why we both didn't have any health insurance. We hadn't booked a place to stay that night, and we didn't get the police registration sticker that you apparently need on all used and new bikes. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Actually, speaking about the brand new bikes, the day before, not 3 kilometers from the store we'd just purchased them, Mike had a little mishap. This tube thing fell out, which stopped the back wheel completely from spinning. So, Muggins here, with my superior height and strength, was left to carry a pretty heavy and awkward object about 2.5 kilometers back to the shop. What a super relaxing way to start your holiday, especially in 30-degree heat. 5 stars on TripAdvisor. We didn't purchase any spare cycling equipment, not even a puncture repair kit, which would have come in handy. As you can see, how much effort just to take the back wheel off was, so my exact thinking was, well, why bother? In case anyone was wondering, these bikes are called Mama Cherries, basically city bikes, great for short distances on flat surfaces. Luckily, we just assumed Japan had no hills and everything was within walking distance. We managed to purchase them both for just 18,000 yen each, which is £102, 119 euro, 3,177 Honduran lumpurs, and in dollars, I don't know. Anyway, active volcano pictures are awesome, aren't they? It was simply surreal to be standing next to a lava field. It really grounded us to the nature, the beauty, the fresh air, the fact that there was Coca-Cola vending machines literally everywhere. Truly amazing. We really had to enjoy every moment because with another tire issue, a ripped bag, a police stop, or, the volcano erupting and killing thousands of people, it would really put a bit of a downer on the trip.
Well, it can't just be me having all the fun. So let me introduce you to the first ever Walker giveaway. The first 1 million people to press the like button down below will win a portion of my appreciation. Yeah, no.
We pressed on into the day knowing that the speed limits were literally never going to be an issue for us. One gear, heels and being fat is not a great mix. Although, fun fact, between me and Mike we lost a combined 13 kilograms by the end of this trip, so it wasn't all bad.
Welcome to Wheel Walker. Even when we got bikes, we're still walking. All this bloody breathing, we might as well start an ASMR channel. But then I'd have to kill myself.
But finally something to celebrate as we made it over the volcano and headed along the final 20 kilometers towards our Airbnb. At least the land had flattened out by this point, leaving me to play with my camera some more, enjoy the sights, take plenty of time to rest. An absolute heartbreaking moment is next. However, a special thanks to Patrick and Wonder. You are the king and queen in a world containing people who actually clap when the plane lands. I've been traveling for 10 years and this is my only form of social media, and helping others do whatever they want to do in life by answering questions is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. So whether you want to support the channel via Patreon, comment or simply watch and enjoy, I am so thankful for this community and will continue to produce content to the best of my abilities. Now, the bloody sad part. I was messing around filming something on Mike's bike when I noticed something in the corner of my eye. I went round to investigate and saw this little fluff ball. During the filming of my Street Cats video, I saw some pretty worse for wear cats, but this one was in really bad shape. Super hungry, no vocal cords, and it seemed like one eye. I've carried cat food with me on every single journey I've made on this channel, and the one time it was really needed, I didn't have any.
I'm sorry. It's not many things that upsets me, to be honest, but that little dude, his face was missing. He was trying to meow, but there was no sound coming out. And his 4 little legs were like pencils, you know. And I think he was looking at me like, you're my only hope. And I let him down. Now, if you move on to the next life, have a good one.
Getting emotional whilst filming yourself. A new low for this channel. Please don't unsubscribe. However, I fully understand if you do. Anyway, let's flick the music back, and what a better way to cheer everyone up than by having a group of motorbikes drive past us at the exact moment that me and Mike put our colourful helmets back on. Now, my eagle-eyed viewers would have seen in the intro I was wearing a white hat because at the time the guy in the shop would not sell us a child's helmet because upon inspection we were not children, and apparently it wasn't safe. However, I went on to explain to the lovely bicycle salesman that these particular helmets were for our children, which I guess we might have one day when I have 5 Patreons, so of course we got the ones we wanted. A few more turns and thankfully we had reached our destination. No, not this awesome Pikachu bus, but this perfect little house and a bed of sorts. With the majority of Airbnbs we found, the owners like to meet people, so most would disappear around 2 PM. Meaning after only 4 years of planning, we had cycled 75 kilometers around a volcano, but the only Airbnb left to stay in was 35 kilometers from where we had started. Day 2 and only one thing on my mind. No, not coffee, surprisingly.
I have not slept yet. It looked like absolute death, but cat food.
Certain death? Probably not. Pain? Absolutely. Let's get there.
Let's get there, Mike.
Today we head to the beach. It's just over a few mountains, but I mean, what could go wrong, really? Ignore what I'm doing here, but as you can see in the background, pain was a-coming. However, lots of children heading to school, so
Time for the chicken. Because it's about setting a good example for the kids. This actually hurts. If I hit my head on it, I'm going to die instantly.
15 minutes we cycled before we needed to get off. As you know, I'm not a real cyclist because real cyclists don't stop at traffic lights. They always wear lycra, even to bed, and of course, as we all know, they club baby seals on weekends. However, to my limited knowledge about bicycles, I think we were supposed to have the seats higher, as whenever I tried to do that standing up thing for that extra little push, I had absolutely zero in reserve. Meaning any hill larger than an ant's ambition for world domination were basically mountains, and it was super frustrating walking.
So far, we've been walking uphill for 2 hours. We've now been pushing our bikes longer than we've been cycling them. I really hope, oh my God, it just goes around. Fucking shitting, 1,000 meters. Fucking shit. 2.5 hours now, walking directly up.
My eagle-eyed cherry subscribers would notice that I'm actually wearing shoes. The lovely people at the last Airbnb had given me what I believe were some sized L shoes. I have no idea what that meant, however it took me 30 minutes to get them on, and I think I threw them away in about 2 hours. However, they must have done the trick, because after I've got back from Japan, only 4 of my toenails have fallen off so far, so already better than when I walked to Pattaya. Thankfully, after a lot of pain and practically zero progress, the laws of physics were about to join our side. As a great man named Isaac once said, whatever goes up must come down. Except in Japan, where I think they don't have physics. Only kidding.
Back cycling, baby. I'm back looking like a complete dick.
Sorry ladies, I'm already taken, but I'm sure there's plenty of other fish in the sea who will cycle across Japan in a child's helmet, fishing gloves, England flag on a city bike, so you'll be fine. You can really see the difference between the iPhone time-lapse, the Insta360 that you just saw, and I also had a DJI Action 2 with me, which brings a whole new perspective. If you want to know more about these cameras, comment down below. However, if you want to know which camera's best for filming your children playing computer games with, none, we don't care. As Mike stopped for a healthy beverage, I got myself a lovely poker sweat. Had to remember to take the time to enjoy our surroundings. In Japan, there was so much beauty, fresh air, it was great for fitness. I think I even ate something called fruit at one point. Especially with free cameras, it's a hell of a lot of work, but when you have over 3,000 subscribers, you have to not be afraid of looking like a bit of a tit, just so you can bring your audience epic shots like this. We emerged triumphantly into some vast open fields where we could finally savor a few moments to chat and recharge our bodies. Now you may think that we are close to our destination by now, but I just heard myself say this.
Nearly there, halfway. Oh, the hills are coming back again.
As if on cue, a distant rumble reached our ears, and up ahead was more untamed, pathless motorways and some huge hills. So as we pedal onward and embrace the unreal farm melodies of Japan, it's your turn to sit back, relax, let me bring down these awesome cinematic black bars, and hit the music. Pretty good, right? I love that band, and keep in mind every clip you just saw was taken in the first 5 days of our time in Japan. I think I have a tendency to overfilm, like every time I saw a vending machine. Anyway, Japan really caters for its walkers. I'd say 97% of its bridges, roads, motorways, cities, it's always possible to walk or cycle around. Of course, we managed to find the 3% that it doesn't, which always happens to be on a bloody hill.
Oh my god. A nice relaxing cycle in the country. Oh no! Jesus Christ.
As if dodging traffic wasn't difficult enough, the rain still threatened to come down. Thankfully, we'd made it out safely and found a place that we could put on the waterproof bags and simply check all the damage that my feet were beginning to show. This was a really super long day, not just in terms of distance, but we'd gone up over 1,500 meters in elevation, whatever that means. We used our last remaining energy reserves to of course film some trains, then Mike decided to eat a couple of mosquitoes, another point for the good guys, and just enjoy a brand new seaside city. Because, as you can see, not only had we made it to the beach, but I found a bloody cat too.
It's okay. Hey, meow meow. Meow. It's okay, meow meow.
And this time, I didn't let him down.
Redemption, yeah!
13 grueling hours had passed, but the wheels and our bodies continued circling. Seconds seemed to feel like minutes, minutes now became hours, but finally, we found our reward. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky with hues of crimson and gold, it was time to bring the curtain down on this chapter. 24 hours to rest and film the montage awaits, and then a grueling, uphill 300-kilometer cycle to the north. The first act may be over, but the drama unfolding on how not to cycle across Japan will continue. Coming up on Walker: murder, fear, sickness, torture, and death. Oh, and at least 5 incidences where I used nouns to massively over-exaggerate what happened. Arigato gozaimasu, everyone. For my American viewers, that means thank you in Japanese. Welcome back to another episode of Ginger Man Goes to the Beach and still can't figure out why everybody has umbrellas up. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. We took a break from all this cycling by cycling to a place where we could have made sandcastles, swam in a lush cool sea, got ice cream, and just made some wonderful memories. However, as we're stupid men, we drank a bottle of whiskey at midday and got in bed by 5. A super early start as we had 73 kilometers to eat up on what looked to be a pretty flat coastline road, only the heat and our lack of fitness to deal with. I had hooked up this beeline here, which simply tells you where you're going, points an arrow for you to follow, which is absolutely amazing if it worked, but more on that later. With the sun already beating down, we got past this baseball stadium, filled with energy after having a day off to rest. Looking back now, was actually a very easy and pretty straightforward morning, as basically from this point on, it got progressively worse. Still, it was so nice to be breathing in fresh air. It felt like every breath I took was adding hours to my life expectancy. Now, given that I live in Bangkok for over 5 years, I shouldn't die now for at least 6 months, so that's pretty good. That morning, we'd started with super high energy, allowing us to take better shots, explore some off-road farms. I'd taken the last 24 hours to fully organize my bag for optimal YouTubing.
Just took a stop. Everything is absolutely flowing at the moment. I got the front part of my bike all secured. I got the sat-nav in the front part where I can actually see. My bag, I now know where everything is. The helmet's on. Everything's just flowing. Something's going to definitely go wrong. Making good progress, 20 kilometers already in 2 hours. Which for a big fat guy on a small woman's bike isn't too bad.
The clear sky with the sun shining brightly contrasted beautifully against the ginger YouTuber who once got sunburnt watching a 3-hour movie at a cinema. It was evident that there would only be one victor today. Finding my dream car was not enough to get me through this day. As you can see, I'd already changed into a long-sleeve 2-layer outfit, which was absolutely killing me. So, to prove that we're not just poor men who only stop at convenience stores, we went into this high-end luxury super discount shop, where once again the options for a 6'3" fat guy was pretty limited.
So, what do you think?
It's hot pink.
Brett the Hitman Hart though.
It is hot pink.
Brett the Hitman Hart.
Once again we set off, but what an immediate difference this lightweight yet UV protecting, albeit yes, hot pink shirt had made. As you can see just how fast the pink shirt was making us go. This isn't even sped up footage.
3 kilometers to go! Until 5 kilometers to go.
We arrived as the sun was setting, indicating that we had completed a brisk 5-hour cycling trip in a span of just 11 hours. Okay, then let me tell you about our next day's plan. Looking down at my notebook here, I have titled this page, 3 Monumental Cock-Ups.
Ugh. 6 o'clock in the morning. 100k to do. First 70 kilometers, I think, is flat, but it's 30 kilometers of pushing the bikes. Let's get there.
Our first monumental cock-up was picking the wrong location by thinking that even though the previous day we'd taken nearly 11 hours to cycle 72 kilometers, repeating that and adding a 30-kilometer climb at the end was the correct choice. But we were in good spirits and looking forward to the challenge.
We know we got this big mountain coming up in a few hours, but me and Mike, we have a secret plan for when that happens. Involves alcohol. Absolutely nothing will ruin this day.
All jokes aside, we knew we had our work cut out for us, especially when our sat-nav kept taking us off the motorway we were following, occasionally taking us to some really beautiful areas that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. Now, of course, it's hard to tell on screen, but I'm actually super fat, and every day so far, at every opportunity, I'd been doing push-ups, paired with eating plenty of fruit, cutting down on drinking, and only really eating Family Mart fried chicken. My body was changing for the better. However, it was leaving me pretty tired all the time, and had I knew what was going to happen later was coming up, I probably should have ate some, carbs or something. Cracking on and keen to make progress other than stopping to make the most epic of epic shots for you guys and some coffee for us. In fact, speaking of coffee, fans of this channel will know that I love and have a slight bias towards 7-Eleven iced coffee. But I must say, holy hell, Family Mart, what amazing delights have you been hiding over there? I really need to rethink my life choices, and yes, I used a pack of sugar to stir it. I'm an idiot. One of the reasons why I created this series was to hopefully inspire just one person to do more stupid things and enjoy their life. So, whilst me and Mike prepare for the hardest challenge of our lives, I called in a friend to help get that message across.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Wow, now that is motivational. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Cycling across Japan in flip-flops, featuring Bret Hart and tattoo-less Post Malone. Please hold your applause until after the show. Now, if all tunnels had their own private bike or walk lane, then that would have made our lives a lot easier. But this did mark the start of the incline.
As you can see behind me, we got some Vendays. Gotta load up, climb over this fence so I could show you this epic view. 2,500 meters to put that into perspective. Half of Mount Fuji. Pretty easy. Probably not cycled a one-gear bike in flip-flops before up here, but hey, so let's go.
Straight away, we were presented with this challenge. The route told us to continue on what I could best tell was a motorway bridge. Trucks, no side path, and some super steep corners. So with our personal safety being in the top 32 things that we prioritized, we decided to go a longer route underneath.
Don't know how long this is going to last, but thank God it's here. I'm glad we decided to do this way.
This turned out to be my first and probably only ever time I've been right in my life, as it left me and Mike to chill and really enjoy our cycling.
You did the whole thing without pedaling. This is where it really starts to get serious now. Some music in the background if you can hear that.
As the eerie music ran out, I couldn't help but think this was the calm before the storm. Oh, actually no, I was right about that too. As the path began to get steeper and steeper, it was time for another monumental cock-up. Having decided to get off the truck-infested motorway, we instead turned to a rocky, fly-infested side road. We had cycled around 45 kilometers so far, with 55 kilometers remaining and only 6 hours before it got dark. Now, despite its captivating views, waterfalls, and overall breathtaking scenery, there was plenty of loose stones and steep drops that we had to be aware of. I was getting pretty tired by this point, and ever thinking about my YouTube channel, my mind began to convince me to create some clickbait thumbnails. You know, the ones where you add that ridiculous text like, "You won't believe what happens," a stupid selfie, and then, I don't know, 21 yellow arrows. But then I remembered that no, I'm a better person than all that. I went down this, what the hell is that? I went down this hill to take yet another amazing shot while simultaneously using up more precious energy. All the while, Mike was making a brand new friend. As you all know, I'm not a real cyclist because, of course, a real cyclist only hangs out in groups of 15, hates the police, and punches pregnant women. However, I think you're supposed to carry some sort of spare kit like a puncture repair kit or something. Since we took that rocky side road, I could feel the back wheel slowly going down, and now I was riding on the metal rim. Not an ideal situation when there was 45 kilometers uphill still to go.
And once again, we ascend into darkness. Getting darker now! Woo! You're not supposed to ride on a flat wheel, but I got no choice. Oh my God, it's so much fun though! Woo-hoo-hoo! This is awesome! I'm gonna have to be walking the rest of this. Oh my God.
With the back wheel fully flat now, after 15 kilometers of walking the bike, I started to think about the option of just ditching it, getting an expensive taxi, and thus ending the holiday. I was feeling pretty dizzy, I'd threw up twice. Even my favorite drink, Poker Sweat, couldn't save me.
I am not feeling good. I want to do this. I've been looking forward to doing this for years. And now I'm doing it. I can either complain that my knee hurts, and my feet hurt, and my ass hurts, and my head hurts, and my shoulders hurts, and my leg hurt. I got to enjoy these amazing views. Experience a great time with my friend. So we'll get there. Stupid, but we'll get there.
I'm not a special person, have no talents or impressive skills, but I've always backed my ability to push myself through the pain barrier, probably based on how dumb I am.
Yeah.
But Japan is Japan, the awesome and beautiful and friendly place. Somehow we made it to this shop, the kindness of strangers, 3 entire ice creams, and
Yeah, we're back in the game. 35 kilometers to go.
if you're gonna be dumb, you have to be, well, lucky, I guess. It just so happened we found not only a shop with a pump, but a random passerby who had a puncture repair kit in his bag. I mean, what are the odds? We were back making progress again, and with only a few hours left until darkness, we literally flew through the remaining sections of tunnels, motorway paths. We battled the traffic, the pain, and just pushed through. Even the ridiculously steep inclines didn't deter our progress or our spirits. We even found a vending machine.
Every now and again, I just have a little ribbon of Americans. But oh my God, wow.
But, dear viewer, as you may remember the title of today, it was time for possibly the biggest one of them all, Monumental Cock-Up 3. With 15 kilometers to go, the Beeline sat-nav told us to get off this lovely downhill motorway road and turn up here. Now with Google Maps saying to go straight and Apple Maps agreeing with the Beeline, we took the 2-1 advantage and took the turn. We hoped after a few hills it would level out. Looking back now from my computer, it seems that 15 kilometers incline is indeed shorter than a 15.2 flat motorway road.
How you feel, Mike?
I don't think I can do this for much longer.
12 hours into the day, 92 kilometers down. Finding the energy to not only tackle the hills, but to film it was certainly one of the hardest physical and mental things I've ever done. We argued if we should have even gone this way. Beeline will certainly be getting a very strongly written email when I have the time.
It's the hardest thing we'll ever do in our lives. Oh, giving birth. Giving birth is pretty hard. But apparently men can give birth now, so I'd gladly do that instead of this.
We estimated that this added an extra 2 hours to the end of a ridiculously long day.
We did it. Well, we haven't done it. We've got another 8 kilometers left, but if we spin the camera around, totally not worth it. Absolutely not worth it at all. If you see this tree line here, it's coming down here, look at the tree line. Now just down from there is a white building. Now our campsite, nowhere near there. It's over there.
Now that's not to say that there wasn't the odd downhill section, of course. However, and I'll stop it here, anyone listening with headphones, take them out now. I'll mute it again. Both my brakes had started doing this on a 7-day-old bike, meaning the bike wouldn't get me up the hills, and as I didn't want to annoy any families living in the houses around me, I was pulling it down the hill too. These bikes are only really good for flat, city-type areas. They really should name them city
Oh. At least it's now not enjoyable to go up or down. So, oh my God.
102 kilometers down, 2,800 meters elevation, we arrived at our Airbnb where I didn't even have the energy to moan at Mike for filming vertically. This is a dog called Max. We showered, realized I was too big for a hammock, and got to sleep. Okay, really getting late now. Any status on the montage?
Nah, man, nothing.
Okay, well then you set up plan B. As me and Mike enjoy watching this guy fish, I'll apologize to everyone for letting them down for the montage. Our backup guest will have to do his very best. So it's time to sit back, relax, let me bring in those cinematic black bars, and enjoy. Sorry again.
There's a moment in time, and it's stuck in my mind. Way back when we were just kids, 'cause your eyes told the tale
awesome. Thanks so much, Dexter.
Can you stay strong? Can you go on? Christy, are you doing okay? A rose that won't bloom, winter's kept you. Don't waste your whole life trying to get back what was taken away. Don't waste your whole life trying to get back what was taken away.
Amazing what some decent equipment, Prem Pro effects, and 4 years of vocal training can do. So as we prepare to finally get to the coast and catch a boat, I'll see you right now. Coming up on Walker. Having reached the point of exhaustion in the previous day, we set our final location, a famous cycling bridge, but that was still 400 kilometers away. However, taking the wrong turns, a broken bike, broken sat-nav, injuries,
I'm a new.
terrible acting, a legit typhoon, and the inability to find shoes in every shop I went to, my feet aren't even that big, threatened to end our trip at any moment. At least with some good news, we did make the world's greatest montage.
Rest all I want is your head on my chest, touching feet. I'm
Anything that needs this sticker is always a win. So join us for the series finale of How Not to Cycle Across Japan. Oh, and I found a pig. Tamagotchi Yamaha everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of a ginger idiot making YouTube videos about cycling across Japan and hasn't once said the name of a city. I haven't, go back and check. The difficult third episode of any saga, meaning to top the previous two, everything needs to be bigger, better, and for my American viewers, way more explosions. Having destroyed the first island with lines and 3D models, it was time to get down from these mountains and head to the port where a boat would be waiting for us. Ouch, I'd promised Mike an easy ride today, so I went straight into my infamous click transitions. So yeah, we cocked up again, and when I say we, I'm blaming Mike on this one because he went rogue and decided to use a brand new application called Apple Maps, whatever that is, although I did find this clip.
Okay, now.
Absolutely brilliant. We pressed on, wasting all the energy we had just gathered from the previous day's rest, a completely unnecessary day's cycling. Probably should just name this whole series How to Push Your Bike Over Mountains, because frankly, we ended up pushing the bikes longer than we did cycling.
At the start of the day, I said to Mike, don't worry, we're just going downhill, and all we got to do is get to the sea. And then what we accidentally did was cycle over that.
A few dangerous parts here, a quick mountain over there, and we'd found our reward. An incredible port-sized city we can enjoy, providing we can get down there.
My brakes are fully on. Mate.
Problem A, my brakes had basically given up at this point. And problem B, when they did work, yeah. Alas, we had finally made it to flat ground. Mike's knee was really giving him some trouble here, but thankfully, other than just this tunnel where one person goes in and the other comes out, we had found the fat man's reward and earned ourselves a night's rest. The next day, we had no choice but to spend a day on a beach, just to see if Mike's knee would get any better. So, whilst I was playing on the sand, Mike stuck to the hard surfaces, and even my amazing dad jokes didn't seem to cheer him up.
Hey, Mike, I heard the devil got arrested the other day. He got done for possession.
We did find a knee brace for him, and looking back now at this footage, I probably should have got one myself. This was 2 weeks of continuous flip-flop wearing. However, when you look towards such beautiful landscapes like this, you can't help but think, maybe I should get up there. So as Mike went home to rest, I mapped out a quick 1 hour cycle, which went terribly wrong. Fans of this channel will know that things going wrong is basically the theme of my life. Long story short, I got to this bridge, took this amazing shot, but then I looked up and saw something that looks like a cable car. What a fantastic idea to have when you're absolutely shattered, your bike doesn't go up or down hills, and you haven't worn shoes for 2 weeks.
See, a smart man... Hang on. See, a smart man would have realised there's a bus that comes up here for like $1. I'm not a smart man. 30 minutes to do 1.3 kilometers. What is the point of a cable car? It takes you up a mountain. If first you have to walk up another mountain to get to it.
I I won't lie, it was pretty cool and it was good to see how far I'd gone and how far was left to go. I especially really enjoyed all these parts where I had to carry the bike, even though the sat-nav was saying it was a, and I quote, cycling road. Another waterfall, totally not worth it, followed by more stairs. Frankly, at this point, the only reason why I kept going was because the beeline said it was just 400 meters to go. And then things, of course, got even worse. Ugh.
I am definitely writing you a strongly worded email when I get back, son. This is a joke, man. 3 days in a row, you've completely screwed me. At this point, it's just getting absolutely a joke. Look at this. Jesus Christ.
A quick bit of protein, more points for the good guys. I had another easy climb out, but then again, more agony waited for me on the roads.
Don't try this at home, kids. Leave it for the professionals.
Just 1 kilometer away from the cable car, however, the next piece of road looked super dangerous, even for me. It left me no choice but to turn back, having basically wasted 3 hours. Classic.
But anyway, oh God, these brakes. Have a look at this.
Absolutely knackered, I squeaked my way back down to Mike and we hit Donkey Mall. Donkey Mall is literally the greatest shop in the entire world. If you know of a better shop that's more interesting, has more crazy, quirky things like this, as I line up these monsters neatly, it's time for a huge inspirational message about brotherly love, never giving up, and being there when someone needs you the most.
So, Mike has picked up a couple of injuries, probably from cycling 425 kilometers in 4 days.
Mostly up.
So, he's not technically able to cycle anymore, so he's going to hang around here for a few days and then take a bus over to Osaka. So the options are, do I go off on my own in the scary old world out there, or do we stick together through thick and thin? Two brothers, we've been planning this for 5 years. Hold on until he gets better. See you later, land wanker!
As we wave goodbye to Mike, we head to the next island on our own, and as the rain hammers down, a quick update to where I am. Once we hit land, the plan is to cycle along the coast, heading towards this awesome bridge. The boat trip was 2 hours long, and me having time to think is always a bad thing.
My lips bleeding, my feet are freezing cold. I'm sore everywhere. I miss my wife, she's the most perfect person in the entire world. And of course I miss Mango. So yeah, it's a bit of a low point. On the flip side, I'm on a boat, and I'm heading to some of the most amazing bridges in the world. Cheer up, Chris. Can't get much worse, can it?
Pikachu now had a new friend and I had a new bike. As Mike's brakes was working, this was the better choice. I'd made it to another picturesque mountain city, and as the rain started to soak me with the longest cycle ahead so far, I knew I needed to find some protection. So I went into this shop, and despite the obvious language barrier, I did manage to get some pretty awesome new duds.
This is great. This is great.
Was very happy with it, especially the new belt. However, it took just 5 minutes for it to fall apart, so unfortunately, upon stopping to get an energy drink, I did find a replacement. When a video goes up on YouTube, it's always important to look your best, as these videos will be here forever, and I'd hate to look back later on in life and think, wow, what a dick. Filled with energy, it was time to cycle. Well, if only I could find the right way to go. I'm pretty sure I went that way. Actually, speaking of YouTube, the number one piece of kit I can recommend anyone is a small lens cleaner. It's literally the only thing you need. However, if you want to be a successful travel vlogger, I'd recommend making content such as top 10 things about this city we just googled 5 minutes ago. Make sure to add an arrow. We tried the local street food. Look how cool and original we are. And the classic, we couldn't believe another culture was different than our culture. Oh, and make sure the arrow's facing somewhere nonsensical. The algorithm loves generic boring crap, you'll be fine. But I digress, where was I? Yes, so I'm cycling through this pretty narrow, ever increasingly dangerous tunnel. It was just wide enough to go flat out, however every 30 meters or so was a patch of mud, meaning I had to stop and push my legs for it, or face sliding off and dying. I'm not that great at cycling in a straight line, I did bounce off the wall a few times.
Oh my god!
I thought I was going to slip into the road at any moment. I could feel the wind being created as the bigger vehicles went by. I really couldn't wait for this nightmare to end. I was pretty shook up by the end.
You probably won't be able to tell with the DJI Action 2's rock-steady image stabilization, but my hands are shaking like f***.
A wash of the feet, a delicious can of poker sweat, and I was back going forwards again. Quite surprised the beeline didn't tell me to go down here, so happy for the little things. Now more cool stuff to look at, and then I found this sort of lake thing, which had these weird sort of nets around. It was either stopping massive fish from escaping, or it could have been a golf course or something.
It was actually for golf.
My eagle-eyed cherry viewers will notice that I had a new hat, which I found last night.
Found a hat.
Told you. Now, as we know, I'm not a real cyclist because cyclists think that their hats make them go faster, carry 3 bottles of water on them at all times, and kidnap children. But I'm starting to see why cyclists wear shoes that clip into their bikes. It sort of helps with both the upward and downward motion, potentially the exact opposite of what flip-flops do. So in this city, I found yet another sports shop, meaning my last chance to find a pair of shoes. So many colors, so few options. So once again, left disappointed. Cold and seeing some massive mountains up ahead, I didn't think things could get much worse. Until of course a siren started going off.
Cycling towards sirens in Japan. It's either an earthquake, a typhoon, or Godzilla. It's going to be exciting, unless I die, of course. And it's just a mild annoyance.
Getting there now, just about 6 hours to go. I'd made my way over the mountains, the twists, the turns, the incredible sights, and I'd got to the end of the road where I'd take my turn to the right and just go along the coast.
What an absolutely incredible day. Makes you feel alive. Really cheered myself up. Some amazing sights, met some lovely people. Loving it. On to the next place.
I was really making some good progress. Although I'd been cycling for 12 hours in super wet clothes, I was starting to get a bit cold, and I was missing having a cycling partner, so I decided to text Mike. Why had no one ever told me they did hot coffee? Either way, I couldn't find it, so I got some chicken. But then I went back in, but I still couldn't find it, so I got more chicken. Attempt 3, however, was a success.
Interesting concept to have it hot, Mike. Might be on for something there.
Back traveling again over concrete, mud, gravel, grass and stone to a cat who was super lovely. And importantly, an Airbnb where I could rest and wash my clothes. 1 day of cycling left over the bridges, but first let's take a break to recharge our bodies. So as I went out to the nearest family mart to take in these epic sights,
And that's why I'm doing this.
it's time to load up that montage. This special montage I'll dedicate to my 3 brothers who have turned into free gentlemen, and I miss them every day. For the rest of you guys, it's time to sit back, relax. For the final time in this series, let me bring in those cinematic black bars and enjoy.
I'm 11 minutes away, and I miss you all day. I'm 11 minutes away, so why aren't you here? I think I miss you calling on the other line. I'm just taking all these thoughts up in your mind. Talking loud, but I can't even read the signs. Hope it's so much soul for a bit more time. You stain all on my body like you're red wine. You're the fucking acid to my alkaline. You bend the middle finger up and down my spine. I'm sorry there was no one to apologize.
I'm so fucking sorry, I'm so fucking sorry. I've been playing somebody else, helping nobody, and a lipstick arithmetic didn't stick, and now I'm sick, throwing fits, and yeah, I've seen you in my head every fucking day since I left. You're on the floor with your hands round your head, and I'm down and depressed. All I want is your head on my chest, touching feet.
I'm 11 minutes away, and I miss you all day. I'm 11 minutes away, so why aren't you here?
You're 11 minutes away, and I miss you all day. You're 11 minutes away, so why are you here?
Tell me what you need. I can make you more than what you are. Come and lay the roses on the floor. Every single Sunday, don't get bored. I just wanna freeze. I can give you more than what you are. Now I see you standing all alone. I never thought the world would turn to stone.
You call me stupid, call me shy. You're the best I've ever had. You're the worst I've ever had.
You're 11 minutes away, and I miss you all So why aren't you here?
D, if you don't put it in a bin, you could end up hurting a ginger. Oh, well, fair enough then. As you can see, another glorious day, the time for some morning energy. Hashtag not sponsored, although I do have the logo on my knee. I would do anything to be sponsored. Anything. However, I got some bridges to show you. On this channel, I tried to give you an immersive journey so you can really enjoy the experience as if you were an overweight, badly dressed English guy yourself. And as you may have noticed, I can barely see. Luckily, most of the trip is me either walking or lifting up the bike, so it doesn't really matter. 2 weeks of cycling, battling the elements, the pain, the emotion, the financial side of it, trying to create some amazing content for potentially 400 people to see, and this was what I was here for. According to this sign, there are some of the world's most incredible sights coming up that millions of cyclists travel the world every year to see. Probably not during a storm. This is my happy face. On the flip side, for the next 100 kilometers, I didn't see a single cyclist going the same way as me, which for me is an absolute win. Because no one likes cyclists or tourists, so cycling tourists, they must just be the worst. I did, however, see this sign, which I had to stop and laugh about. Watch out for pedestrians in a storm who have a cane because they can't walk, but are on an 80-kilometer enclosed cycle route. What a joke.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm an idiot. Now, I know your butts are hurting, probably not as much as mine, but I'll give you a brief recap of the day. 100 kilometers, I found a crab on a bridge, a snake, ate many mosquitoes, completely smashed my toes. Even the glimpses of cool views quickly soured. Is this a warning about pigs? Wild pigs? I don't know. Then I got lost, of course, and ended up next to a pig trap, which was actually pretty scary at this point, with my only friend Apple Maps telling me the quickest route was up this, and in brackets, road. I really suck at navigation, but Apple Maps is way worse.
Apple Maps. Read between the lines, huh?
I carried on, and after all this time alone, I was thinking of my friends.
Some absolutely awesome friends. Shout out to Luca, Noah, and Michael.
And then I had to think of an inspirational goodbye message to end this series.
So I'm an overweight, undereducated, near 40-year-old YouTuber who's just cycled nearly 700 kilometers in 8 days. If I can do this shit, just imagine the possibilities that you can do. Imagination is your only limitation, isn't that right, Tom? If I can leave you with just 3 words, 4 words, 3 words of wisdom, don't think, just do. Is that 5 words? I don't know math.
I had arrived, sold my bike, then took a bullet train to Osaka because there was someone there waiting for me, someone who I'd missed, someone I couldn't wait to finally see. Japanese Strong Zero, 9%, available absolutely everywhere, many flavors, sizes, and well within budget. And the taste? Disgusting.
I'll see you next time on Walker.